Hello everyone, and welcome back. I am Airbear. Today we're going to be having a look at the much awaited Evil controllers. These controllers actually have some different qualities than the other Elite builds that we've been looking at, so I've really been looking forward to this. Thank you to everyone who wrote out in the live streams and Notification Gang. You guys know who you are. You freaking rock. And a big announcement, we're going to be giving away this bad boy. So this custom Airbear Elite Evil controller will be yours to win in our live streams. We're also giving away 2 game glasses at 40k subscribers and a Scuff Vantage at 50k subscribers. So this will be coming up directly after that. All you need to do is subscribe, hit post notifications. You'll never miss the live streams where we do the giveaways. Good luck. And whoever wins this Elite custom controller. So something that sets Evil controllers apart from the competition in the Elite controller market is that they offer mods. Yes, that's right, mods, which would be cheating. Yes and no, I never used any of the mods in any public lobbies ever. So all my live streams, if I ever use this controller, it was strictly for the back paddle applications, or in Evil's actual consideration, back paddles or buttons, because they offer both. So if we were going to go ahead and build this controller, which we could do and get some of the same decals and whatnot by picking any of the faceplates up top, the shift paddles on the back. Currently, remapping is free, and I always tell people this whenever they're ordering Elite controllers, always pick remapping on your back buttons. Do this. You will regret it if you don't pick remapping. Just pick it. Trust me, because there will undoubtedly be some point in time where you're going to be like, damn, I wish I could switch this up to a different input, and you're going to regret it. So just make sure to pick remapping. So Evil actually offers a similar feature which we've covered before, which would be separated actuators on the D-pad. They call it tactile D-pad. Now I want y'all to go ahead and hear this. Very crisp, very clean, very sensitive, and very easy to press. Now they also offer another feature which is included in this controller, and that would be sensitive buttons. So they've gone ahead and swapped out the actuators in here for a much more sensitive button which requires less pressure or force to actuate. They also have the option for you to select whether or not you want a varying thumbstick tension on your thumbsticks. Now, I would say to anyone who's looking or considering this, do it, but only for the right-hand side of your controller. You can save a few bucks. It doesn't matter how much tension you have on the left-hand side, considering that this is just your movement thumbstick. But on the right-hand side of the controller, you're going to want to step up to Pro Tension. Now, the reason why you might want to consider more tension on your right-hand thumbstick is that this is going to slow you down and make you a little bit more precise, so you won't be whipping past your targets so quickly whenever you're aiming, or you have to quickly swerve over to a target. You'll be a little bit more gradual and precise instead of just slamming the joystick all the way over to the side. I first experienced this a while back in a BattleBeaver custom build. I've been a huge fan since. I wasn't going to use Evil controllers without it, so I most definitely had to try their increased thumbstick tension, and I was not let down. I want to go ahead and note that already we've hit $270+ on this build, so we're beginning to see that some of these customization options are a little bit pricey, just to be frank, but these guys are infamous for using really high quality parts in their controllers. There are no controller grips on this controller whatsoever. And finally, we reach the section where we get to pick whether or not we want mods in or out of this controller. Now, this controller that I'm giving away does have the Master Mod Pack. Now, this is an $80 edition. So the Master Mod Pack has literally every possible mod offered by Evil controllers all in one built into your controller. They have some specific mods for Fortnite, whether or not it be instant building, and I had a little bit of fun with this, as well as being able to remap some of the building functions, whether or not it's wall, ramp, pyramid, floor. You could remap these to any of the back paddles that you want and still have some separate inputs for like jump or crouch. And probably one of the best ones that they have is their insta weapon swaps, which I feel like that's where most players struggle in Fortnite, is coming out of building or editing straight back to having the weapon that they want in their hands for that gunfight. I feel like a lot of players struggle with that. So the instant weapon swaps would mean that you could be able to just press any one of these buttons and have an immediate weapon swap mapped to it, so that you would go straight to the weapon that you have mapped to this slot, which would mean I could pick 2 slots on my weapon wheel in Fortnite and just say, hey, I want this to be where I normally place my shotgun and this to be where I normally place my SMG or AR or sniper, and map it as such so that even if I'm in the middle of a build fight and I know I need my shotgun out, it can be just a panic press of a button away and I've got my shotgun or AR or SMG out. I feel like that would be one of the most viable mods that they have as far as their Fortnite lineup. So I had a little bit of fun in playgrounds with this. I did not play in any public lobbies, with any of the mods. I want to go ahead and say that. For people who do play with mods in competitive scenarios, you know what I think of you. You know what you're doing. You know that's dirty. Now getting into some of the other master mods, which are more focused on shooter games, whether or not it's Apex Legends, Battlefield 5, Call of Duty. I want to kind of scan over the pamphlet because this thing comes with 2 gigantic pamphlets. And it's so much instruction, but once you actually get some of these mods going, it's really impressive to see how much they're actually doing. So we've got the rapid fire mod. I had to try this out in just a custom game in Call of Duty and try and turn my Strife into a fully auto, and it was actually insane. Pretty crazy seeing that fully auto Strife. And just know that you can adjust that rapid fire in increments however you want and have it programmed into the controller, all without having to plug into any PC. All adjustments and turning on and off the mods happens just by having the right press and combinations on the controller. So besides the rapid fire, you've got drop shot, which means it's an automatic drop shot. Auto run does extend the lifespan of your L3 on the left hand side, and it keeps you from having to press down so hard and push forward at the same time. It does extend the lifespan of your left hand thumbstick. That is proven to be true. And then we also have something called auto scope. Now this was a really big mod in Call of Duty series. It means that every time that you scope in, it's automatically pressing the hold your breath. So if you were a big quick scoper or sniper in Call of Duty, that was a huge thing back in the day. And last but not least in the master mod pack would be the Battlefield auto spotting system. So whenever you spot an enemy, they'd show up on the minimap and they'd have a little marker for your friendly teammates. The auto spot feature would have you spotting enemies that you didn't even know were there, and it definitely was a brutal advantage to have it constantly trying to auto spot and find enemies for you. So since we've talked about the mods briefly, I do want to wrap that up and say that there are a few situations in which mods could give you an unfair advantage on the playing field. Everyone knows that. I personally don't condone them or use them, but if that's what you want to do, these guys definitely are repping a pro tier mod pack as far as being able to have mods in game and have an advantage on your enemies. I'm pretty sure Evil's slogan for that is bend the rules, break your opponents. That's pretty shiesty, but pretty true. So after you've selected whether or not you want mods or not, you get to pick your thumbstick heights and whether or not you want Evil thumbsticks or not. So the Evil thumbsticks are exactly what you see on both of these controllers. I know I'm gonna have a close-up going for you guys. They're not actually the most grippy material, but the surface area on these Evil thumbsticks is huge. It's a much larger surface area for your thumb. I personally always go low on the left-hand side to create a shorter travel time for my thumb, whether or not I'm moving forward, back, left, right, etc. Now my right-hand side, I do like the Control Freak style thumbsticks to increase the axis with which I'm aiming from. This is proven scientifically to give you a larger control area. So your margin for being able to control your aim is being increased when you raise up your right-hand thumbstick. That's why I always use this. So immediately you'll notice the design difference as far as the surface area at the base of the thumbstick. We can see straight into the thumbstick module. This is intentional. It's also intentional on all other thumbsticks on why they want that to be fully covered while we rotate around the joystick. They don't want any junk or crap getting in there. Also, little kids have a tendency to want to adventure, and next thing you know, they'd be sticking things in there and messing up their thumbstick module. And what this new design feature lets you do is swap out your thumbsticks immediately, no problem. They just pull right out because guess what? The surface area is perfect for just fitting in and out, no problem, no complication. Last but not least on this controller would be the Evil ID, which is the prints you see here on the sides of this controller. We also have some prints happening here on the back, just showing off the Evil logo. This is pricey, but you are definitely getting a high tier print. No, it is not just some vinyl decal that I can peel off with my fingernails, and everything is fully meshed to the controller. It is very clean and professionally done. So that is it. That is this build, and that's how we reached $429. That's right. You heard me, $429. We are going to look at what a build would cost us if we just were going with something a little more standard, a little more minimal, and getting exactly what I would want from this if I was trying to save a few bucks but still get the elite controller that I needed for high performance. But very quickly, there might have been one option you noticed that Evil Controllers was not offering that pretty much everyone else does. That option being hair triggers, ladies and gentlemen. Hair triggers or smart triggers, smart bumpers, whatever you would like to call them. A shortened actuation on the firing mechanisms in your R2 and L2 so that you can have faster shots and reaction times, especially with semi-automatic weapons. Having hair triggers is crucial. Evil Controllers recognize this, and they even told me they are working with some prototypes, so this option will be available with them soon. I cannot speak as to the quality of it, but I do know that every specialized actuator, which is almost this entire controller, the entire face here is specialized actuators, and then our 4 back buttons on the back are all very, very well made, and none of them crapped out on me at all during the testing phase and playing with this controller. So really quickly, I want to talk about what I feel like is one of the most important features in this controller, and that is the extra inputs, the back paddles, the back buttons. These 2 options are the most important options on the controller, period. How well are they designed? Are they going to work for you? So they have 2 different options that you can pick, and that is the Evil Shift paddles, which they're not really paddles because they're actually centered directly over the button. So really they're just large surface area buttons. Or you can pick the button option from Evil. So guess what? Out of the 2, no problem, no debate. My favorite is the buttons on the back. They land perfectly precisely where I need them. Now, I can't say this would be the same for everyone because guess what? Everyone's got different size hands. And I did not see any options on their website to switch up the placement on these buttons. So if you're worried about whether or not the buttons are going to be where you need them for your size hands, I would recommend that you look at the paddle option. No matter where I press this back button, no matter which corner I'm hitting, it always actuates. And that's the beauty of these Evil Shift paddles, is that no matter where you press them, they always actuate. That's also the downside for me, is that I find myself accidentally pressing the wrong paddle because of how extremely sensitive they are. They are very, very sensitive buttons on the back. I have to give them props on that. These are very well made, very well done actuators. You can hear how clean and crisp they sound. So very quickly, let's go over the build that I would go with if I was going to be building a controller to save a few bucks but still get everything that I needed out of my Elite controller. So we'd go ahead and skip the faceplate. There's no need for that. Now the shift paddles or buttons, like I said, I would be going with buttons in the back. Remapping is currently free with them. Now as far as these sensitive buttons, I don't find those to be an absolute must, so I would leave those off of the controller build and save 40 bucks there. If I was into fighting games, hands down 100%, I would pick the tactile D-pad just because I'd want to separate these D-pad actuators. It can make a huge difference in fighting games where the D-pad is heavily used. But since I'm mostly into shooter games, I'm not going to be needing this. I can save 40 bucks there. The left thumbstick tension I would leave on standard like we discussed earlier. The right thumbstick tension I would increase to pro. As far as controller grip, I would option for getting some controller grip, especially on a Sony controller. They are much smaller and you need a little bit more grip and texture in the back because you have less of a surface area to actually grip this controller with because of how small by nature these Sony DualShocks are. And as far as the mod pack selection, we would be leaving those completely off. I have no need for those whatsoever, so I would be leaving those out of my build entirely. I would definitely pick the Evil thumbsticks. I like them. I like how quick I can swap in and out from different heights and styles. And I would have no need for the Evil ID. I'd save my money there. And then we would reach the warranty section, and this would be our final selection, which could cost us more money or not. Now, the warranty with Evil controllers is a little bit different than pretty much everyone else out there. They have a 7-day, no hassle, no problem return policy. For whatever reason, no hassle, no problem, just return it, get your money back. You got 7 days to do so. After those 7 days, you are stuck with that controller. So keep that in mind if you're shopping with Evil. But they do offer an extended warranty service. There is a set price for a 1-year warranty and then an increased price for a 2-year warranty. You are for sure paying for ease of mind. You know that no matter what, if something craps out on your Elite controller that you just coughed up however many dollars your build was, you're covered, no problem within that time frame, and that it's going to get taken care of and get back in your hands. So I do want to try some of their increased accessibility controllers, which would be for people with disabilities, whether or not it's Parkinson's, cerebral palsy, maybe you're missing an arm. And I want to share some of these options for people out there because I think it's beautiful what they're doing, and everyone should kind of hear the word on that. So I do look forward to doing that and kind of bringing a little bit of light to some of the builds and options out there for one-handed players or just people with some natural disabilities. I gotta say, these guys were definitely a hidden gem out there. They have a lot to offer, and I feel like there's so much more to come with the Evil controllers. So there you have it, my thoughts, opinions, and feedback as far as the Evil build. It has been very fun. I think these guys are doing a great job, and they're definitely in the top list controller modders out there so far. And I know you guys are always asking, what's the best controller? Why don't you let me get my hands on the Astro A40, which is coming up right around the corner. And then after we've reviewed the Astro A40s, I will release my best PlayStation 4 controller on the market video to date and give you guys my honest opinion on what I think is the best on the market and why. Again, thank you so much for all of the continued support. You guys are absolutely amazing. My notification squad, who shows up to like all the streams, you guys freaking rock. So guys, don't know what you're waiting for. Like the content, share it, subscribe, and make sure to smash notifications so that you don't miss any streams where we're doing the giveaway. What do you guys think as far as the build integrity and design? Are they worth the bang for your buck? I look forward to seeing what you have to say in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Peace. Truly though, someone's gonna be out there freaking rocking face with mods on this controller. That's real talk.